opening gap in case it hits it. And there we go. Another green day in the books. All right, last attempt for the day. Really light risk. I don't want to use my normal risk. I just took a loss and it's a Friday, so. Normally 1% is around 600 for me. But first trade was an L, got stopped out. But I'm short inside of the first presented fair value gap. I want to see that get used as an inversion level and take us lower into the sell side. Risk comes off if we can manage to displace underneath this short-term low. I'm watching to see how much speed we get underneath here. Sell side was a draw. If we can displace underneath this low, I'll take off my risk because it will be above mean threshold of this up close candle, which is what I like. But I want a little bit more displacement. The up close candle. I want to see if we leave that intact. Let's look at 2 minute. Small little inefficiency there. Had a normal SIBI. I want to see us eat through this down close candle. If we're in a buy program, that'll act as a bullish order block, but obviously I don't want to see that now, so we have to dig through that. Don't want to see any support in it. It's mean threshold. I want to eat through that like a hot knife through butter. So right there we tagged it. Do we eat through it? I don't want to see us stay above it. Did I draw that right? Yeah. So far closing above it which is what I don't want. I want to see us dig through it. If we take out the sell side here, I'm going to take off maybe 1 or 2 micros, depending how much speed we get underneath this low. If we're energetic, if we're fast, then I'll likely only take off 1 micro. If we take out this low kind of lethargically and it's not really showing that much of a willingness to go lower, then I'll probably take off 2 or 3. So I'm using the speed. Should we take out that low? I'm using that as insight to see if NASDAQ potentially has a willingness to trade back down to the midnight open. But I don't like us closing at mean threshold. I want to see us eat through that. Hasn't done it yet. We formed another SIBI. Want that to be used as resistance. Still wanting to see us get beneath mean threshold or that down close candle. Right now it's being used as support. So did we trade into that 2-minute? We did. We're in the lower half of that down close candle. That's what I like. Now, can we get speed underneath this low here? Should we take out that low, obviously? NASDAQ stalling a little bit. I'm not interested in closing the trade early or taking any sort of early partial other than potentially this low. I've already did my job as a trader. I say this all the time. I've already entered with low risk, and should we leave my entry point, I'll trail my stop loss down just a little bit, nothing too aggressive, and I'll reduce some of my risk that way. But I'm not fearful of getting stopped out. So I don't want to close this prematurely or trail my stop loss too tight and then you get knocked out. There's nothing wrong with losing. As long as you manage your risk, it's no big deal. But the rules are still the same. If we displace underneath this low, then I'll take off my risk. But unless we displace beneath it, not just wick beneath it, but actually show speed and trade far beneath this down close candle, if we do that, then I'm comfortable taking off my risk. All right, so we've taken out this low. I'm watching the speed. That's going to determine how many partials I take should we take out the sell side. Right now I'm feeling 2. Stop loss is trailed above this high, which comes in at 29.25. Just call it 830. So for me, my account size, anything under 200, anything under 150 bucks is a break even for me. So my stop loss is going to stay here unless we can displace a little bit more. But for me and my standards, this is a risk-free trade. We have a small little fair value gap. And let's see. I want us preferably to reach the sell side and the midnight open and all that by 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is profit taking hour. Okay, that's London close. I really don't like to hold for targets past 11 because, as we know, and we just covered this in the webinar a couple days ago, but a lot of times you'll see a retracement or just a full-blown reversal as you get closer to 10:50, 11:10, that macro. So we have about 10 minutes till 10:50. I want to see our targets get hit before then, preferably. That's the displacement I like. After seeing that, risk is removed. Plus 15 bucks to cover commissions and whatnot. And then again, obviously looking for the sell side. Taking off 2 out of my, there we go, thank you. So recouping a little bit of that first loss. Obviously I wanted shorts, getting wicked out. I mean, that stuff happens, but using the inversion fair value gap like we outlined. And this is the speed that I like right here. Oops, let me change this. What do I have? 3 contracts on. Take 2 off. The heck? Did I not just change that to a 2? All right, hold on. 3. Why is it taking it off? Oh my gosh. Trade station. Okay. So 3 contracts on. We have that large new week opening gap. Let's see. Okay. Let's take this off. Taking 1 off at the midnight open. Taking 1 off at the high of our current new week, or sorry, at our current new day opening gap. And then I'm going to leave a runner for the PM session. That's how I'm going to do it. Losing trades, they don't mean anything. Okay, took a loss on my first attempt. You didn't hear any fear in my voice. There was no emotions attached to the trade. There is no fear. Okay, I said I was only going to take 1 trade today, but there's no fear of getting in and trying again, sticking with your bias. I wanted shorts. We're in a deep, deep premium. Okay, I got stopped out my first entry. The trade idea is still valid. Look for another opportunity to get in. There is no reason to be fearful of losing. There is no reason to beat yourself up if you take a losing trade. Are you doing your job as a trader, which is to manage your risk and keeping your emotions in check? Okay, I went long I went short 8 contracts on my first attempt. Got stopped out, no problem. I said if I do take a second trade, I have to reduce my risk. I'm only short 5 contracts now. And that takes away some of the fear, some of the anxiety. If you go right back in with that same risk or more, you're placing so much pressure on yourself to be right. It's not about being right, it's about managing your risk, managing your capital. Kay just passed her or his 100K account. That's what's up. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So we have this large fair value gap, treating that as a breakaway gap. I'm going to trail my stop above that high. I'm not expecting that to be completely repriced in. So this high comes in at 96.50. 96.50. My stop loss is above this candle's high. Today had the potential to be my first $1,000 day. Still waiting on it. If I hadn't taken that first loss, again, I don't believe in shoulda, coulda, woulda, but if I didn't take that first loss, today would have been my first 1K day. But it's all good because I'm not done trading for the year. We're right back next week. I'm watching this fair value gap. I like for this one to take us lower. It's overlapping with the new day opening gap. Don't want to see this one here traded to. But I like for this to take us lower to the midnight open in our current new day opening gap. And I'm going to take a partial here. I did take that first loss, so closing one contract near the low. And since I did that, I'm going to be targeting consequent encroachment of the new day opening gap instead of the high. I'm leaving my buy limit for the midnight open. That's staying there. And I just won't leave a runner because I did take a loss my first trade, so I got to get that back. Everybody catching dubs in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. And again, trading the same model. Only looking for shorts if we're above the midnight open. I'm only looking for longs if we're beneath it. Once again, okay, I've already done that work of back testing. 71% of the time, if we're above the midnight open, we're going down, okay, in the morning session. And we're seeing that here. Even when we're trading at all-time highs, the logic still applies. So, really nice. So I have 2 micros in profit at about 20 handles. So that's $4 a handle times 20. So about $40 locked in profit, partials. 3 out of my 5 contracts already scaled out, so it was a good day. And you guys got to see me lose and go back in with half risk, proper risk management. It was a good learning day. All right, should NASDAQ trade up to this imbalance? Again, I don't want to see us completely reprice it in. I prefer to see like an institutional order flow entry drill, small wick, and then continue to work lower because I'm treating this as a breakaway gap. And I don't want the upper half to be traded to. But if it does, that's fine. We've already banked profits. And this is why I like to take partials closer to 1050 because as you get closer to 11 o'clock, that retracement is coming. Retracement or just a complete reversal, so got to take those partials when you're getting late in the morning session. Retro gear, 750 away from passing your first account at 17. Man, you're 17 years old. You got so much time, man. Man, at 17, you don't even need a prop firm. By the time you save up money from working and whatnot, by the time you're 25, by the time you're 21, you'll already have enough cash. But yeah, use prop firms while they're here. But man, you got so much time. You just keep learning the right things and stay out of trouble, stay out of the drama. Man, you're gonna be set. You're gonna be set, man. And I'm still young. I'm 23, but man, you 17. You still in high school. You got so much time, bro, to develop and just be a sponge and just absorb information. You're gonna be just fine, bro. Taking off another partial. Have one contract on. And let's see. Taking that partial because it's 1050. We just back tested that 1050 macro all webinar was that Wednesday. And how many times did we see a retracement or reversal during that 20-minute window? So scaling out. "32 with 2 kids. I want to have kids by the time I'm 30. I'm not in a rush, but that's the goal. So the breakaway gap, I like how, take this sell side off. I like how we couldn't reach consequent encroachment. Want to see if we can stay heavy. We have a small little buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I don't want to see that be used as support. I want to see us get beneath it, potentially use it as an inversion fair value gap, meaning close beneath it, next candle open, tap it, and then it sends us lower. So we close beneath it, next candle open, trade it up, see if we get speed to the downside, taking out this short-term low. Gonna lock in a little bit more moolah, trailing my stop loss above this swing high, which comes in at 777. Lucky number 7077. Where is it at? Locking in all of that, plus 1 tick in case we tap the high. I'm the granny in the group. It's all good. That's what we love about trading. There's no age cap on trading. It doesn't matter how old you are. ICT, a 50-year-old man, I think he's like 51, 52 years old, one of the best traders to ever do it. Age is nothing but a number. That's all it is. That's all it is. This was a good day. This was a good day. Do I wish I wouldn't have lost on my first attempt? Yes, but risk was managed. The drawn liquidity was still lower. Everybody's making money going long. It's only right that we have setups to the downside. We opened way higher at 9:30. We opened way higher with our new day opening gap. We're above the 8:30 open, above the midnight open. Shorts was the only move today, other than the longs during the opening range, obviously. But inversion fair value gap, like we said, you want to see that be used as resistance. We open, trade up, hit it beautifully. You have sell side here. And then that new day opening gap, that large unfilled region. And then the short from Asia delivered beautifully, that ATM model. Gonna lock in a little bit more. This up close candle is a bearish order block on the 5-minute chart. Moving my stop loss above main threshold. So there we go. Midnight open is tagged. That would be a partial. Definitely be a partial. Every single time you tag the midnight open, you want to take a partial there. Okay, that is a discount. Okay, that is smart money can distribute their positions underneath the midnight open. That is a partial. But because I've already scaled out 4 of my 5 contracts, I'm not taking a partial there, but you absolutely want to take something off at that level. Absolutely want to do that. I'm just not going to do it because I've already taken off 4. So I'm holding for the high of the new day opening gap. And remember time, we're in that London close macro. See you, Sparhawk. Have a great weekend. Our webinar is on Sunday. We have nothing planned for tomorrow. Get your rest. Enjoy time with friends, family, loved ones, all that fun business. It's been a good week, a busy week, a lot of executions. I think we traded every day except for Wednesday and obviously Monday. See you, Lisa. Have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Exectile. We do have the best Discord community out there, without a doubt. We're not the biggest, but we're by far the best. So either I get stopped in profit or my take profit level gets hit, and then obviously we'll wrap it up and we'll go enjoy our weekend. And I'll go grade that homework as well. I'm sorry, I've been a little behind on that. See you, Retro Gear. Have a great weekend. Beautiful, beautiful short. Half risk. Join the screen, take the same trade 2 days in a row. That's what's up. That's what's up. Up 2K on your funded. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff. Good job, bro. Gonna lock in a little bit more, trailing my stop above this up close candle, bearish order block. That high comes in at, 743. $743.25. Again, we're getting closer to 11 o'clock, so I'm trailing my stop pretty aggressively. I'm watching this long wick that makes the order block. I like for that to take us lower, obviously into our current new day opening gap. The candle opens, trades up, hits consequent encroachment. And stand by a little bit more. Where's NASDAQ gonna pull some foolishness? My limit order is also a couple of ticks off of that new day opening gap in case it hits it. And there we go. Another green day in the books. Can we get dubs in the chat? great day, great week. And we have our webinar 10 a.m. on Sunday. Be safe. See y'all then, 10 a.m. Sunday. All right? Peace.